In the very beginning, before there was a world, before there was a sky or a sea, before the first bird flew or the first tree grew, there was only God. He had no beginning and no end. He was perfect in power, perfect in wisdom, perfect in love. There was nothing else. No sun, no moon, no stars. No sound of rushing waters, no colors, no shapes, no life. Just emptiness and silence. But in that silence, God spoke, and his word had power. When he spoke, reality came alive. When he commanded, the universe responded. Let there be light. And there was light. Brilliant, shining, pure light broke through the endless darkness. For the first time, there was day. And for the first time, there was night. The cycle of time began, flowing like a gentle rhythm across the newborn world. And God looked at the light, and it was good. On the second day, God separated the waters. He spread out the skies above, stretching them wide like a great canopy. The heavens took their place, a vast blue expanse arching over the world. The air was clear, the atmosphere ready to carry the winds and the clouds that would one day water the earth. It was good. Then came the third day. God gathered the waters below, and dry land appeared. Continents rose, mountains pushed upward, valleys stretched out, rivers and lakes formed their paths. The seas found their boundaries, roaring with energy, yet held by the Creator's command. But the land was bare. So God spoke again, and the earth turned green. Plants sprouted everywhere. Soft carpets of grass covered the ground. Trees stretched their branches high, filling the air with shade. Flowers bloomed in dazzling colors, painting the earth with beauty. Fruits appeared on the branches, apples, figs, pomegranates, grapes, each bursting with flavor, each seed carrying the promise of new life. The land was alive with color, with fragrance, with nourishment. And God saw that it was good. On the fourth day, God decorated the heavens. He set the great light, the sun, to govern the day with warmth and brilliance. He placed the moon to shine by night, gentle and calm, lighting the darkness with silver glow. And then, as if to show the endlessness of his imagination, he scattered the stars across the heavens. Billions upon billions, each burning, each shining, each in its appointed place. Constellations stretched like stories written across the sky. The universe, vast and immeasurable, was his masterpiece of light. And he looked, and it was good. On the fifth day, the waters stirred with new movement. God filled the seas with life. Tiny fish darted in shimmering schools, weaving together like living rivers. Great creatures, massive and mysterious, rose from the depths with power. Whales leapt and sang songs that echoed through the waters. The oceans became a realm of wonder, filled with beauty and mystery. And then God filled the skies. Birds of every kind took flight. Sparrows chirped in the trees. Eagles soared high above the mountains. Owls glided silently through the night. Parrots burst with color, and swallows danced on the wind. From the smallest hummingbird to the mightiest condor, every wing beat was a celebration of life. The skies and seas sang together, alive with creatures great and small. And God saw that it was good. Then came the sixth day. God turned his attention to the land once more, and he filled it with living creatures. The plains thundered with herds of wild horses. Elephants marched with strength and wisdom. Lions roared in the distance, while lambs grazed peacefully in the fields. Bears wandered through the forests. Wolves howled at the moon. Insects busied themselves in the grass, while giant beasts shook the ground with every step. Every kind of creature, each unique, each with its purpose, came to life at his command, and the earth was alive in every direction. But God was not finished. For all this beauty, for all this abundance, something was still missing. So God did something different, something more intimate, something more personal. From the dust of the ground, he formed a man. Carefully, lovingly, he shaped him. And then, with his own breath, God gave him life. The man opened his eyes. He took his first breath, and he became a living being, made in the very image of God. This was not like the animals or the birds or the fish. This was something new. Man was created to reflect the Creator, to think, to speak, to create, to love, to choose. He was given a soul, a spirit, a heart that could know God. And God blessed him. But God saw that man should not be alone. So he gave him a companion. From the man's side, he formed a woman. Together they stood, equal and united, sharing life side by side. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth. Care for it. Rule over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and every creature that moves on the ground." To them he gave a home, a garden called Eden. It was a paradise overflowing with beauty. Clear rivers sparkled in the sunlight. Trees offered fruit in abundance. Every plant was pleasing, every path inviting. Peace reigned among the animals, and joy filled the air. In this place, man and woman could walk with God, hear his voice, live in his presence. It was a world of harmony, of balance, of love. And then came the seventh day. The work of creation was complete. God rested, not because he was weary, but because the masterpiece was finished. He set the day apart, blessing it as a day of peace, a day of rest, a day to celebrate the goodness of all he had made. And so the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. The darkness had been pierced by light. The skies had been stretched wide with beauty. The land was clothed in green. The seas, the skies, and the earth themselves sang with life. And humanity, the crown of creation, stood in the very image of God, ready to walk with him. This was the beginning, the first chapter of the great story of the world, a story of love, of purpose, of hope, a story that tells us that behind all things there is a Creator, a God who brings light out of darkness, a God who forms life from dust, a God who delights in his creation and calls it good. And God looked at everything he had made, and it was very good.